This conference will now be recorded.
So this is the day one for the Terraform module, and here in like from today onwards, for the next 2 weeks, we will be discussing about Terraform. And after that, like once the Terraform module is done, we will have one project based on the Terraform module. So let's go ahead and start with the Terraform. So here that Terraform is considered as the IAC tool. Okay, so it is considered as a IAC tool. So what is meant by IAC? So let's just talk about that first, and then what is the infrastructure also, because here I'll be using the infrastructure word a lot of times. Okay, so what does it mean? Does it mean infrastructure means like we usually think something like the construction or something like so? So what do you mean by the infrastructure? Let's understand that. So here the workflow for us, just give a second. So here the workflow is going to be like, let's say we have a developer team and those developing some application. Whenever we have some application for a deployment purpose, okay, so let's assume here we have some application. Now that application we would like to deploy to the AWS environment. So here we have a AWS environment, and here we would like to deploy that application. Now to do the application deployment, it could be a various resources that we might require from the AWS cloud platform. The very basic resource you guys can think of is like a server. So I will require some server, or I might require a few of the different services that we use it from the AWS. So it just isn't about the deployment of your application, but there are so many things that we have to handle it inside your server. Okay, so one option is like one thing is like we require so many different servers. We might wish to create the auto scaling group, load balancer, then for storing something, okay, we might would like to create some EBS volume or the S3 buckets that we have to create, EFS storages we have to create. So there are n number of resources that we will be creating. We require the Route 53 to set up the route records for your application and DNS server. So there are n number of things that you require to set up to run single application. Now, usually the one thing you guys might be aware about, like how to create server and then like how to deal with manually, right? So what I mean to say is like here, if you just go and like type the AWS console, and you can say you can log into the console. Let me log in quickly. So you can log into the console like this way, and here you have a numerous services access. Okay, you can just click on the appropriate service which you would like to interact with, and accordingly you will be creating these services. Like here either you may go to search, okay, and you can search the appropriate service, and you will get in touch with those, and you'll be creating those manually. Okay, so now here I'm giving the name as manually. Okay, here I'm giving the name as manually. So what my conclusion is here, that here somebody's on mute. Akanksha, do you have any questions? Yeah, thank you. So here that in conclusion, what I mean to say is that we require so many different services, and all the services is or not like with those services we have to like deploy the things. Okay, so we have to use multiple services, and you guys know already how to create EC server. You click on this particular server machine, right? So, or you're creating services. You'll be using the EC2 service to create a servers for you. Now, this is the manual way I'm talking about. Okay, right now what I'm saying is that I can click on this EC2 machine and I can create the multiple servers. Okay, so that's kind of a manual way to handle the things. Now instead of handling the things, I want to go with something called as a IAC. Okay, now what is IAC? So first of all, like let me define the infrastructure. So whenever or whichever the resources that we require to deploy the application. So for that, whichever the resources that we are creating in AWS, so those things we are generally called as a infrastructure. Okay, so infrastructure means what? That all the resources, like whichever you create, okay, so those things we will be calling it as a infrastructure. And now here we have one terminology called as the IAC. Okay, we have one terminology called as IAC. The full form of this is what? This is infrastructure as code. Okay, infrastructure as code. What does it mean? That here earlier we were creating all these things manually. Okay, like the way here, let's say I have to launch instance, I'll click on this launch instance, I'll fill the details, and at last I will go and say launch instance, and accordingly my instance will get launched. Now this is the manual way of creating your instance. But instead of that, what we are saying that we will be providing, okay, we'll be providing something like an infrastructure as code, means will we write some script. Okay, we'll write for some script for the same, and with that script you will be creating your infrastructure in a AWS. Okay, so here you have a AWS, and you will be creating this AWS stuff. Okay, like here you will be creating the resources with the help of what? With the help of the script, and that script every time, every single resource you'll be handling with the some script. Now this is what we say as a infrastructure as code. So you're converting your infrastructure steps, okay, like how you would like to create those, or you'd like to maintain that. So you will be maintaining that the infrastructure with the code. So that is what the IC we say. And Terraform is what? Terraform is a IC tool. Okay,
Full form.
Terraform is, yes,
Please repeat this IAC.
IC. Okay, IC means that, okay, I stands for infrastructure. Okay, like here we'll be creating so many different resources. Okay, now like all the resources, like all the whichever the AWS services, AWS provided service, it is having some 100 plus names the services we have. So all of the service, whichever the services we would like to include, you can just include. So all those services basically that we will be creating, okay, with the as a code in the code format. So every single time we'll be writing some script for it. Okay, like we will be writing some coding, and with that code you will be creating your infrastructure. So this is Terraform tool is. Okay, now why there is a requirement as such to do all of these things. Okay, we'll discuss like what is the requirement here we have. So we will discuss that. But let me go with first that okay, so this is infrastructure as code means what? This is a Terraform tool we have. And right now, like earlier we were doing all things manually, but now here onwards that we will be saying that you shouldn't be doing the things manually. We have to write a script for that, and then after that we will be applying that. Now writing the coding is not a like a difficult challenge we have here. Okay, so it's not something a very very difficult coding that you all have to write. It is a very simple scripting. Okay, now that scripting which you have to write, okay, that has to be written in the language called as HCL. Okay, now what is this language and everything that we'll discuss, but yes, HCL is the language in which you'll be writing the script, and that you will be applying it. So is it really worth to learn the Terraform? Like here you have to run, or you have to learn first of all the language like HCL, and then after that you can apply the thing. So is it really worth? So we will discuss all the things. Okay, so let's just understand first of all here why Terraform. Okay, like why IC is important is there anything that like is it important to learn? Okay, why we have to learn? Okay, let's just talk about it. So first of all, just understand that Terraform is this IC tool, right? Why we have to maintain, why we have to create the your infrastructure in the form of the code? Why we can't do the things like this way? Like here, I can just go to the instances. I can click on launch instance, and then here I'm getting some information to fill up. I can fill that very quickly, and I can click on launch instance. So this is the really easiest way to do. Okay, why we supposed to write a script for this simple task, and then you will be like like doing the things probably manually is easy, correct? And we get a lot of things as a default setting, and obviously in case of Terraform, we have to take efforts like write a script and then apply, and then your infrastructure will get created. Okay, so why we have to go for this instead of like a manual, like this is a easy solution, instead of we have to go with the difficult solution, that is IC. Okay, now IC is not really a difficult. At initial you may feel little difficult to do it, because this is like a process with which we are creating infrastructure. And why we have to follow this process? So let's try to understand a few of the challenges that industry is facing if you are creating your infrastructure manually. Now let's say you're someone who is a very big organization. Now within the big organization, okay, you have so many peoples around you, right? So you have so many people, and all those peoples are also creating infrastructure for your organization. So in big industry, we have multiple teams, and multiple teams within multiple teams we have multiple engineers, which we called as either platform engineer, DevOps engineer, or even SRE. Okay, so all those people will also be creating the infrastructure. Okay, now this infrastructure will get created by them, and now here let's say we everybody is just creating infrastructure, right? And here we have a AWS account. Here we have a AWS account. Now, over a period of time, what will happen? That like a lot of people are creating this infrastructure for them. So it is going to be becoming a difficult. It will become a difficult for each and every person. Okay, that here like a lot of people will be creating the different infrastructure. Okay, now it will become difficult for to trace that who has created which server. Okay, let's say someone who is like a manager, it will become difficult for him to trace like we have so many servers created. Okay, like who has created which server, who is using which server, even though that like let's say one team required server, they have created it, are they using this server anymore? So we have so many questions around it. Okay, and it will become a lot of chaos over a period of time, because there's going to be a very huge list of complex environment that we will have. And when you create the servers, okay, when you create servers or when you create some infrastructure, so it's not just about the server, right? You create a VPC, you create a subnet, okay, you put your servers, you create a lot of infrastructure you create, and to handle all of this infrastructure become a very big headache for the organization. Now, and then it is not just about creating the infrastructure. Okay, it is not just about creating the infrastructure. We also have to maintain that infrastructure. Okay, we also have to maintain that infrastructure. Like let's say here you have created some sort of servers, and within those servers you have put some application. Now over a period of time you have to like replace few of the images, or you have to maintain the application, to you have to take a backup. So a lot of things here you also have to do. So in such case, to maintaining your infrastructure as manually, like everybody just going and creating their resources by themselves, okay, like a manually, it becomes very difficult to trace. Okay, this is the one thing. Okay, this is the one thing that over a period of time, your complexity of your infrastructure is going to increase, and handling that with the manual way is always going to be the challenging. And also okay, so that's the one point. Okay, second thing is that, so here the complexity will get increased. Okay, complexity increases over a period of time. To tackle that, we're looking for the Terraform as a sophisticated tool. Second thing is that here that let's say here we have one server. Okay, now somebody has created this server. The person B has created this server. Person C has created this server. Now, how I can identify that which server is created by whom? Okay, like over a period of time, let's say my organization is big. So I have here, let's say 500 servers. Okay, here in instances, I have the 500 servers. So I will have a 500 server. So it is really difficult for me to like really understand who has created which server. Okay, now and who is maintaining which server. So we can do something like a tagging and all, but still within a team, like let's say we have a team, okay, and right now if I talk about students, okay, so we have one Aditya student, one is Akanksha, okay, one is Arvind, and three of the people are are like expert in creating infrastructure, so they all are creating infrastructure, okay. So Aditya has created few machines. Now manager wants to understand within a team whether Aditya has created, Akanksha has created, or Arvind has created. Okay, how they will understand. Okay, so there is no way. There is no way, or you can make some way, but you have to check some event trail logs and all, and after that they should be able to understand who has created which machine. Now it's really difficult to trace such thing. Okay, and that's the reason here. What if that whatever the activity you are performing, so that gets just maintained and understood by someone if they really want to understand. Okay, like what is happening in your infrastructure. Okay, so here in conclusion, what I'm saying is that what is happening inside your infrastructure. Okay, what if like who is doing what? So if you get clarity on that, so Terraform can help you with that. Okay, so here you able to trace the activities. Trace the activities means that who is making the changes basically. Okay, so that those activities you will be able to get. So that's the second thing. Okay, third thing that you are always looking for the backing up of your infrastructure. Okay, that you have created here infrastructure, and let's say after the over a period of time that something goes wrong with that infrastructure. Okay, so here you have multiple servers, and because of any reason that any of the server got stopped. Okay, now or let's say some junior engineer came, he destroyed any of the instance, or AWS infrastructure itself, got some in a problematic situation. Like let's say we have a infrastructure in multiple AZs. Okay, now after all, those are the electronic machine. Okay, like like even though we are saying that AWS is like a big name where you have created your all the servers, but still you think in this way that those machines which you see, okay, those are electronic machine, and any problem can occur to them. Okay, anything goes wrong with this machines also, or because of any national disaster, your infrastructure, like where you have kept your all the things, okay, those you might lose, okay, services and all. So it's you need to have a backup with which you can create your infrastructure ready within like a few minutes, and you like big organizations like to maintain this is such thing, and this is really important thing. Okay, now this is the disaster recovery mechanism in which you are looking for to have a solution in which how easy you can recover from that disaster. Okay, and there is some time for each and every parameter, like how much time you require to recover and all, like there are many things. Okay, so here you are also making like looking for to have a backup, okay, with which you can just came up again from the disaster. So that is one solution also here you are looking for. So these are the so many things that is solved by the Terraform. Okay, these are so many things that solved by the Terraform. Now Terraform is what it's a IAC tool. Here we write the things in a form of the code, and because the things we are writing here in the form of the code, the things become little easy for to handle. Because and then like fourth thing that I can talk about like a automation. Okay, we can do the things in an automated way. So let's say somebody told me that you just required 4 instances. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just go to this launch instance. I'll fill the form that I required 4 instances. I'll just mention the all configuration, and with that, I will create a resources for you. But what if I want this thing to be performed by some CI/CD pipeline? Like I just want a with single command. Okay, I just want that with single command, I would like to create some of the instances. So here I'm just wishing to have some automation in which with single command, I want those 4 instances to be created even behind a min, or even I don't want to open this AWS portal at all. Okay, so can I do such thing? Yes, it is very much possible with the help of the Terraform tool. So these are the main important things that we have here. Terraform is offering to us, and that's the reason the Terraform is quite popular tool to handle the infrastructure. So now Terraform is like such a tool is become like in the industry. Terraform has become such a tool that almost each and every organization you will see that they're shifting. Either they have already shifted or like they're shifting on the Terraform, and then at some point each and every will get shifted. Okay, because without Terraform, like if they are not handling their infrastructure without Terraform, okay, so at a certain point they have to, or else like they will get in a lot of big trouble. Over a period of time, the infrastructure complexity gets really like becomes really complex, and to handle such big infrastructure, it becomes a really headache for the organizations. So that's the reason you will see that there is a boom in the market for the Terraform. And even I can claim, like let's say if any big organization is like something enterprise level organization you're working on, okay, so they are already working on the Terraform. Okay, so they don't have any other choice, so they are already working on the Terraform. So this is the IAC tool that we are going to discuss. Now here when I say IAC tool, okay, so it is the infrastructure code as a tool that we have as Terraform. So is it the only tool we have? Okay, so let's just talk about little bit history. That like, is it the only tool we have in the market that does this thing? Like you write some script. Okay, you write some script, and with the help of that script you do the like you create your infrastructure. So is it the only tool we have? Can anyone would like to give the answer? Like who are the competitors for the Terraform? Anyone?
Ansible.
Okay, great. Ansible is one. Any other? Okay, enough. Actually, Ansible is like one of the tool, correct? So let's talk about the Ansible. Okay. So yes, if I talk about like in normal ways, that who is the big competitor that we have for Terraform? So correct, Ansible is the one we have. Yes, CloudFormation is from AWS, correct, Harshal? Okay. So we have a different tools. Now each tool has some limitation. Preliminary there. Okay, great. ARM templates. Okay, yeah. So here, the big competitor that we have for this Terraform is probably the Ansible. Why? Because Ansible is managed by big player such as Red Hat. So Ansible is really and then it is popular. Like it is also one of the very popular tool that we have to handle the configuration management. So can we create the infrastructure with the Ansible? Answer is yes. You can create an infrastructure with the Ansible. So there we have Ansible. Apart from that, we have few of the possibilities with the chef and the puppet. Okay, like we can use the chef and puppet also, but those are not really so popular tools nowadays, so I'll not talk more about them. AWS cloud formation, such tools also we have. Then preliminary we have. Okay, now these are the tools we have. Now what is wrong with the cloud formation? Like here if I talk about, so cloud formation is also good. Okay, cloud formation is good. But here the problem is that cloud formation that we can use it, like this is the AWS service. Okay, it is the AWS cloud formation is a tool that you can use the same thing. You write a script, and with the script you can create your infrastructure. So here in the YAML format you write script. Okay, now what is wrong with the AWS cloud formation? This is just okay, like this is just you can create your infrastructure only with the or you can create your infrastructure only for the AWS environment. So here also you write a script, and here you can apply that particular script on your AWS platform. So in this case, okay, in this case, your infrastructure will get created, but here you can just apply the things on the AWS platform. Now let's say we are someone who is organization that we might want to shift from your AWS infrastructure to the hybrid one. Okay, we would like to shift from the hybrid cloud. Now why hybrid cloud? So few of the services probably I would like to use it from the Azure. Okay, few of the services I would like to use it from GCP. Few of the services I would like to use it from DigitalOcean, and then we have so many like this, right? So why hybrid? Probably few services are I'm getting, okay, I can get it in a ease manner, or you can say few of the services I'm looking to have with a with a little bit less costing. Okay, so we have a competition going with this all the cloud providers. So there, if somebody else is providing me the cheaper services compared to the other one, and the same reliability, then probably I can go with their services also, right? So it's not necessary that my all infrastructure has to be on the AWS. Okay, I may would like to go with a different cloud platform. So there, a cloud formation doesn't help you. Okay, and that's the reason. So Terraform is like a tool that you can just use it on any other cloud platform also. Like everywhere you can use it. So that is what the Terraform tool is. Okay. So with the help of Terraform, you can create your infrastructure. Now, what about Ansible? Like Ansible can work. Yes, Ansible can work with all the cloud platform. Now, problem with the Ansible is like, just imagine here you are done with the creating the infrastructure. Okay. So here you have written some Ansible playbook or some script. Okay. And now you are running, or you are telling Ansible that you have to create a infrastructure. Now, what happened that Ansible will create a infrastructure for you. Like let's say here you have created one server. You have written one script for one server, and then you will tell that you required one server, so Ansible will create one. But Ansible will not be able to maintain the state of the infrastructure. What does it mean? That Ansible doesn't able to track that what is happening here in the infrastructure. Means that here we have created one server, so it will just create, but it will not maintain that we have created one server. Okay, like next time if I run one more time the script, okay, the same script, if I run one more time, I will have one more server created by the Ansible. Okay, and that just keep going on. So here Ansible is kind of a tool that can create the things for you, but it is not going to maintain the state of your infrastructure. Basically it doesn't able to understand that, and that's the reason that you will have a multiple copies of, like, you run your script, that Ansible is going to create an infrastructure for you. Okay, so this is something happened with the Ansible. That's the reason Ansible, because the Ansible does not able to maintain the state. Okay, so that's the reason Ansible is not a suitable tool to consider for a IC. Okay, it can handle the configuration management well, but it's not a good tool to handle your IC, that is infrastructure. So that's how this Ansible got eliminated. Cloud formation can just work with the AWS. That's the reason it got eliminated. We have one more tool that is just recently hit with the market. That is a Pulumni. Okay, so that is kind of a good tool. Okay, like Pulumni is kind of a good tool, but it has some time to take over to like play here. Okay, so we have one more tool, Pulumni. Okay, now this tool is what? This tool is basically is based on that you shouldn't be bounded by any language barrier. Like here in case of Terraform, you create your infrastructure with something called as HCL language. Okay, now that is a compulsion you have here. In case of Preliminary, you don't have any language barrier. Now that's kind of a the latest tool that we have in the market, and which is also getting some popularity, especially when Terraform has created its enterprise version also. So there onwards, the Pulumni also got some the attention. Now the Pulumni is good tool, but again here the community is small. Okay, community is small, so here the things are yet to come up with a good base where everybody can start working. So there are few of the issues with this tool. That's the reason people hesitate to use Pulumni. And second thing is that you can create your infrastructure with any other language. Like let's say you know the Python, you can create your infrastructure with Python. You know JavaScript, you can create your infra with Java. JavaScript, okay, you know Java, you can do it like so. Here you don't have any language barrier. With any language, you can create your infrastructure. Okay, so that's the best thing about Preliminary tool. But community has not grown so much. You don't have like let's say you come up with any issue, so you don't have people to solve those. Okay, and that's the main reason that Preliminary is something that has some lot of time actually. So see, like let's say some organization has already created a Terraform script for themselves. Okay, the migration from one language to the other language is not an easy job at all. Okay, so somebody is creating from the start, and if they have a choice, then they can think about the choices. But if somebody is using like Terraform from the past, then probably no one is going to shift. Even they have to pay for them for that tool. Okay, so that's the reason Terraform is not going anywhere for at least next 10 years. Terraform is very well established tool that every single DevOps engineer, SRE, and then everyone should learn this particular tool. Okay, so this is the tool we have to go for and learn ahead. Now, okay, till the time like whatever the theory I have just discussed. Okay, any question, guys? We have here anyone at this point? Anything you want to discuss, guys? All good?
Amul,
Yes.
small doubt. If like an organization is having, for example, 500 servers, with IIS also we are creating that 500 servers only. Manually also we are creating that 500 servers only. Then where does this complex get reducing?
Okay. So here the complexity in the sense that let's say 500 servers that you see it here. Okay. Uh, like from the other like at a overview level, you try to see the things that yeah, what I said is like you have multiple teams, right? So let's say team A is creating their infrastructure. Now, like just think in this way: team A, B, C, D, like that. We have multiple teams. Okay. Now complexity like here you are creating your infrastructure. So so team A will have their own script. Okay, team B will have their own script. Team C will have their own script. Team D, okay, like that we have. Now your scripts are different. Okay, your account could be same. Okay, like where they're applying that AWS account could be same. So when I say like let's say if I'm having 500 servers to handle, so let's say this team A is having the 125, each one is having the 125. So now I have bring that big count into the small number, which is what like you can just look at the script, and by looking at the script you can understand so what is happening in your infrastructure. Okay, for a team A. On the other hand, like here I have to just look at the 500 servers. Okay, it's really frustrating thing to understand like which server is of this team A, which server is of B, C, and like that. Okay, so that's the reason like when I say as your infrastructure grows, so anyway like when your infrastructure goes, so it's going to be really difficult to like trace out the thing, but still Terraform will offer you this scripting manner with that. Okay, so you may check their code and not the your infra this place. Okay, or you can compare the things. So who has created which environment? Okay, when they have created. So if you want to trace out all these things, so you can just compare your script and your infrastructure. Okay, so that's how you can reduce your complexity.
Okay,
Okay,
Amul.
right.
Yeah, okay, Amul.
All right. There's one more question in the chat box. Okay, there is a question asked by Sushan. What's the difference between HCL and Go scripting language? Why we are preferring HCL over Go? Okay, so see here, like Go is one language we have, and HCL is what? HCL, like what is the full form for HCL? HCL is the HashiCorp language. Okay, now what is HashiCorp? What is HashiCorp? So HashiCorp is what? It's an organization or a company who made this tool. Okay, who made this tool? But this tool is like open source one, so anyone can just start using it. Or in fact, like when this tool was getting developed, so this tool was the open source, so a lot of people have contributed this tool. Okay, that's how this tool has grown. So HashiCorp is the organization who has created this tool, and HashiCorp also has so many different products. Okay, Terraform Vault is there, console is there. Okay, so there they have like so many different tools, packet is there. Okay, so like that, Terraform is one of their products. Now while creating this product, okay, they decided to go with a different language, and that is the HCL. Just give me a second. Yeah, so they decided so to go with the different language, and here they go with the HCL language. Okay, now HCL is what their own native language they have created, and this is like HCL language with which we can create the infrastructure and we can apply on the AWS. Now this language is not like a difficult one to understand. They have a lot of similarity for other languages such as Python. Okay, you will see a lot of similarity like a Python. So to catch or to pick up this language is not a difficult task. But yes, this is a completely different language we have to work with. Now Go is what? Go is the tool which is a like sorry, Go is a language. Okay, Go is a language like a JavaScript. Okay, Go is similar to language. And who made this Go? So it's a Google. Okay, Google has created this language, so Go is created by the Google. Now the tools that you see, okay, the tools that you see, such as in fact like Terraform or the Kubernetes, okay, or in fact the CNCF has created so many tools. So all of these tools are created with the Go language. Now why the people are creating the language like here, Terraform tool is also created with the Go language, but you have to work on this tool with the HCL language. Okay, so try to understand difference. Like you have to create some script. Those script you will be writing in the HCL language. Now you are not a developer. Okay, you are not a developer. You are a user. You will be using this tool. So let's say you are someone who understand the Go language and you wish to put that at like you wish to add any feature to the Terraform tool. So you should know the Go language and you will be contributing to the Terraform tool because that's an open source tool. So you can go and contribute anything like whatever you wish to contribute to this tool. So this is the Go language we have. This is the Go language we have, and Go is known for its efficiency. Like why anyone would go to learn the Go language, or why anyone would go to create or use it, because we already have a lot of languages in the market, right? Like Python is there, uh, we have the Java is there. Okay, why go for Go? So Go is known for its efficiency in running the programs. Like when the program runs, so it just beat the benchmark of the Python and the Java also. So it is like a faster language. Okay, like when it comes to running the software. So this the Go is what is faster compared to your Java and Python. That's the reason people go for choosing the Go language. So did it help Sushan to understand difference between HCL and the Go? Yeah. All right, there's one more question by Harshal. Like, suppose we created a resources in another region due to human error, can we roll back here? Yes. So this is something we can do it very easily. Let's say you have created infrastructure in one region, like you have created your infrastructure in one region, and you would like to shift that infrastructure to other region. You can just do that very quickly. Okay. Now, if you have to do those things manually, you might have to take a lot of efforts. Okay, but if you have the scripts created in Terraform, so it's just like few minutes of task to do it. All right. So yes, now here we discuss a lot of theory now. Okay, now let's go and do some practical. So what here exactly, like how exactly we are going to like create an infrastructure and perform the things. Okay, so first of all here I required one machine. Okay, where I'll be, like I'll be applying the things. Okay, now it could be my local machine also. Okay, it could be my local machine. I can create one EC2 server for that. Okay, I can do it, but the most convenient way is what? Like if I have to create an infrastructure, so I'm going to choose my own laptop. Okay, I'm going to choose my laptop, and from this laptop, this is a place where I'll be writing some scripts. Okay, I'll be writing some script, and those script I'll be applying to the AWS cloud. Okay, so here I'll be applying the AWS cloud the scripts. Next thing here, now what are things here I required on the laptop? Okay, let's try to understand those. The very first tool you might have guessed correctly, which is the Terraform tool itself. Okay, so Terraform is something that I have to install here on my Windows laptop. Now, if you're using the Mac, so like the process to just installation of the Terraform is going to differ a little bit, and that's it. Okay, like once you have a Terraform tool available in your machine, further apply part, writing script, everything is going to be the same. All right, so this is going to be the the step which is going to differ. So Terraform is what one tool I required. Okay. Now also you might have guessed correctly the second thing, that here we have to apply the things on the AWS, right? So obviously, like nobody can directly go in and do the things in AWS, right? We have to do some authentication. Like without authentication, how you'll be doing and applying the things? Like in fact, like let's say today I logged into this AWS account, so I open the AWS console, I put username, password, and after that only this Chrome browser allow me to log in, right? Same thing is generally is going to happen, that my laptop is trying to create some infrastructure here. So in that case, I have to look for the authentication. Authentication, how it can be done. So like there are multiple ways. Okay, like there are 2 to 3 ways with which you can do the authentication. For practice purpose, you can also do some shortcut, but it's a one-time process, right? So creating and authenticating is a one-time process. So I will show you the best way, like how in real time we do the things. So I'll talk about that. And to that one, like to do that one, we'll require one tool called as a AWS CLI tool. Okay, AWS CLI tool is something that will require. And yes, so with this, we should be able to, like here we'll be creating like one user and we'll be giving credentials to this user. Now, how to do all of these things, we're gonna understand ahead in the today's section itself. So let's go and do the setup now. Okay, the very first thing here I required the Terraform tool. So to have the Terraform tool, I will go on internet and I will search for Terraform download for Windows, something like that. I'll just search, okay, because I'm having the Windows operating system. Okay, the way it really doesn't matter. It just it comes in a binary form, and that binary works with all the operating system. Okay, so let me show you how we can do the installation. So here I'll click on the very first link. Okay, now you can see that the very easiest way, the one who is having the Mac operating system, they can just go and execute these two commands. Okay, brew tab, okay, to install, and with that way they should be able to install, like with this simple two command, they should be able to install the Terraform tool. Now for Windows, like here you see Windows is not coming with by default terminal. Okay, now there is a way that you can use something chocolate and all, but here you still see that we don't have any commands like this. The reason, the Windows doesn't come with it's its own like it is having the CLI, but the CLI command doesn't work there, right? So that's the reason here you see we have just option of binary download. Apart from that, if you have a Linux operating system, and that too Ubuntu one, okay, just go and like here you read, okay, it's Ubuntu one, and whichever you have, just choose accordingly. Okay, if you have Ubuntu, CentOS, okay, I mean, let's just open and copy the command straight away, and that's how you will be installing. So for other operating system, it's kind of a the easy way to do the installation. Here, this case, okay, this case, like I'm having the Windows, so I'm going to have this 386 version. Okay, I'll simply download this file. Now this is the binary file is getting downloaded. Okay, guys. So the file which is getting downloaded is a binary one. So I have to give the I have to give what I have to give the path for it. Okay, I have to set the environment path for it. So let's go and do that one very quickly now. I'll go to the downloads folder, and here you see I have the one of the file. Now one the thing here you guys have to take care is like I'll just copy this particular file and I will extract that at somewhere else. Okay, uh, the downloads I think I already have the folder. Okay, that's the reason I'm just going to different folder, and let's say here I will have this repo. Do I have any Terraform folder here? Just give me a second. Yeah, here you see I already have one Terraform binary folder. What and in fact like this is the folder also I have. So I'll do what? I'll just go inside this folder. Whatever I have there, I'll just simply delete that one. Okay, so here I'll paste the new folder, the one which I have got it from the developer, and then you see it's a updated version. It's a 1.7.5. It's updated version we have. Now here I have to extract this. Okay, now this is a compressed zip folder we have, so I have to extract it. You can extract in the downloads also. Okay, I'll simply extract, and like here itself, this will get extracted. Okay, great. So we are done with the extraction. Okay, and here you see that this is the folder we have got it, and under which we have this is the binary file. Now by any chance, let's suppose that you don't have any access to set up the environment path. Okay, in which case you might not have. Let's say you're working on on a laptop, like office laptop. Okay, and then you don't have access to set up the environment path. So just start writing the script here. Okay, and you should be able to use this tool directly. Okay, but as we required this tool to be used globally, like globally, I just want to go here to my to my PC. Here you see downloads folder. From here I have to use like Terraform tool like this way. Okay, now if I want to use it like globally from any path, I should be able to execute this command, Terraform commands. So for that purpose I need to set up the environment path. Okay, and how I can do that? So the very first thing, I will copy this tool. Okay, I will copy this tool, and before setting the path, like we usually keep our all the program files in C drive. Okay, so let me do the same thing. Here I'll go to this PC. Okay, and here you see it's a Windows C drive I have, under which it is the program files we have, right? So it's up to you in which particular folder you would like to keep your things. Okay, so I have kept the 386 very good. So 386 is the one which I have downloaded, and here you see like I have so many different files and folders. Like Git software is there, Go language software is there. Then these are the default one. Internet Explorer, Java is there, kubectl is there. Okay, so I have so many different softwares here. Along with them, I would like to keep the Terraform. Okay, so here you see that I already have Terraform folder. I'll delete the existing one. Okay, and what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create a new one. Okay, I'm going to create a new folder here, and I will give the name as Terraform. Okay, so again, giving the folder name is your choice, what folder you would like to give, and under this particular folder I will paste that particular application file. Okay, so I hope till the time everyone is just clear with the instructions. I've like unzipped that folder. I got one binary. That binary here I have created under the program files folder. Like here I have created one folder, and this is the place I have kept the binary. Now next thing is I have to give this path. Okay, I have to get this binary path to my like path environment variable. How I can do that? So just copy the path from this way. Let's just say copy. Now you have copied the file. Sorry, you have copied the application where where you have kept this particular application. Next thing, you will go and type here environment path or something like this. Okay, like here you see edit the system environment variable, so you have to click on this particular option that you get it in the control setting. And under this, if you see here, we have one environment variable option, so just click on that, under which you have the two options. One is the user variable, other is the system variable. Okay, now either you can just choose any one of the path variable. You can see we have option either here, or you can choose the option here. If you're choosing it as a system variable, so let's say now this is my personal laptop, but let's say I have multiple users, so all those multiple users should be able to access the Terraform tool. Okay, so this is the difference. All right, so here I'm choosing the path as system variable, and I will click on the edit. Okay, once I click the edit, so these are the few of the environment variable I have, and at some point you should also find that Terraform we have here, right? Terraform is also there. I'm going to delete this particular, and then here I will go to last, like here I'll say new. Okay, because here I'm just like putting a new path, so I'll just click on new, simply paste the path which I have copied there. Okay, Terraform, and just say okay. So you have added a new path there. You have added one more path which is for Terraform. Now say okay and okay. Okay, so you are done with the Terraform tool, like configuration installation is done. Okay, how to confirm? So I can go to the CMD now. If by any chance that if already a CMD is open, okay, so just close that one. Okay, because you have just added the route now, right? So path now. So to open the CMD or the git bash. Okay, so you can just test. Okay, you can just test the Terraform. I just typed the Terraform to just confirm whether it is installed or not. Okay, so either you can test it in CMD or you can test it in the git bash. Okay, so we generally use the git bash. So here I should be able to get that tool. Okay, Terraform version or all. So I should be able to get, and yes, here we go. So Terraform installation is successful. Great. Now next thing is what? So is this clear to you all, like how we did Terraform installation? Is that good with you all, guys? Any questions so far?
Amul, can you just show the environment variables once again? Binary and all, I am okay with it.
So you have to go to the environment variable here, this one, and you will click on this environment variable, and then here you will click on the path and just say edit. Then here you will be clicking on new option and just paste your environment variable path, okay, in the Terraform, and then say okay. So this is the process you will follow. Is that good?
Yeah, yes, Amul.
Okay. All right. Any other question, guys? Somebody else also was speaking. No questions, right?
What is this need of environment variables and all, Amul?
So here that we need to like if you don't provide that environment variable, then you won't be able to use this tool globally. Okay, so to use your tool, like this is a binary file. Okay, that means it is executable file you have, but that won't work if you're not passing the environment. Like that won't work globally. Like you have pasted in a C drive, you can go to that folder, and from there you can use the tool. Okay, but if you wish to use it globally, like from any of the path, in that case you need to set the environment path. Okay,
Okay, Amul.
all right. So the next thing is here we talked about like a installation of Terraform. Okay, now let's talk about the authentication for the AWS. Here you see that we have like from the laptop we're done with the Terraform installation. Next thing is that we'll require the AWS CLI tool that will give the credentials to a Terraform to create a infrastructure. Okay, and then authentication is certainly going to be we have to do it one time. Okay, it's just a one-time activity. So let's say how we can do that. So first of all, we should have this AWS CLI tool to be installed in your machine. And in my case, I already have it. So okay, if I just go and use any of the AWS command, okay, let's say AWS hyphen version like this. Okay, so you see that I'm getting some options. Okay, now I missed the hyphen word, but you get my point. Like AWS is there already installed in my system. Now, now the same thing. Okay, if it is not in your case, like AWS is not installed, then you have to first of all install the AWS CLI. So the way here we are done with the installation of the. So first of all, we're done with the AWS Terraform installation. Second thing is AWS CLI installation. So and that you will be doing it by your own. Okay, I'll show you how to do it because I already have the tool. So you have to install the Terraform, sorry, the AWS CLI. You will go on the browser and say AWS CLI install on Windows. Okay, something like that. You just search. Now this is the AWS CLI tool. It's from AWS. So here you see the documentation is coming. Just click on the very first link. And depending on which operating system you're working on, okay, so just click on that. Okay, so I'm working on Windows, so I'll click on this. And here I have to just download this particular file, which is .msi file. Okay, so just click on this file. And in downloads folder, you see here the things are getting downloaded, like that particular file is getting downloaded. Now only task you what you have to do is just go open that file, like double click on it and say next, next, next. Okay, and that's how. Okay, like just click on next, 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 and that's how you will install your AWS CLI tool. It's a really easy say, and then just do it by yourself. So we are done with the AWS CLI installation. Next thing here, like once we are done with the AWS CLI part, okay, the third thing here you have to put one AWS configure command. Okay, you have to put one AWS configure command. And whenever you say AWS configure command, okay, I'll show you. Like you just open any one of the terminal and you use the AWS configure command. Okay, now it is asking me to put some access key, okay, secret access key, and the region name, and in which format I would like to see the output. Okay, and just press enter. Now this is what is basically I need to create one user, and here I need to set up some credential. Now how I can do that? So I need this detail, okay, access key, secret key, and region name and default format. Okay, so these are all things I required. So basically I need to create one user. I need to create one user, and those user credential here I have to pass. Okay, let's see how we can do it. So you have to go to the AWS again. Here you will search for IAM service. Now IAM is kind of a service which deals with the users, correct? IAM is kind of a service which deals with the users. So I'll click on this particular service, and straight away I will go to the user section. Okay, under which I have already one Amol user, but let me create one more user. Like how to create a user. So let's say here we have the very first student as a Aditya. I'll just create a user with his name. Okay, so I'm creating the user with the Aditya name. So just assume that Aditya is the one who is going to apply the things. Okay, so let me say create user Aditya. Okay, so this is the name I have put. Now next thing it's asking me provide the user access to AWS console. Okay, like what Aditya is going to do? Aditya wants a user, like from the machine he has to apply the configuration, and then we are doing that with the, like we want that user for this AWS configure, which is a CLI user. We don't require the Aditya to provide the console access. Okay, so I'm not providing this access. Okay, I'll just put the name and I will say next. Next thing is attach policy directly. Okay, we have to give the permission that what Aditya can do and what Aditya cannot do. Okay, so we can give the permission. Here we have a list of permission. So if I give the permission, like let's say EC2, then Aditya can just create the EC2 machine. He can delete it. Okay, but let's say tomorrow I give the task to Aditya that you have to create the S3 bucket also. So he won't be having the access for that. Okay, so basically whenever we are creating a Terraform user, so generally Terraform user will require all the permission related to your infrastructure, and that's the reason I'm going to give the administrator permission. Okay, or in fact here you see the administrator access you have here, the very first thing. Okay, I'll click on this particular administrator access, and this is the access I'm going to give my, this is Aditya user, and I'll say next. So this is going to be my username Aditya. We are providing the permission as administrator, and now you can say create user. So here we are done with the user creation. What about the access key? Like here I talked about something, access key, secret key, right? So I have to create those. From where I'll get those? I can click on the Aditya user, and then I can click on the security credentials. Okay, and here under the security credential I have the option to create access key. So just click on the create access key. Now it's asking me for what is my use case. Okay, it's a command line interface for which I require the credential. Just click on the first thing, and then I understand, because see here we are creating the credentials, so it's like giving us one warning that you understand what you're doing, right? So just say next. It's asking me to what you're creating. Okay, let's say this is for Terraform access. We're creating this user. Say create access key, and finally here we have got the access key and secret key. Okay, can you guys see here? So this is the one it was asking. Now I'm going to pass this secret key and access key to my user like this way. So I'll say AWS configure. Now here I'm going to copy this access key. I'll paste it here. Okay, next thing it is asking me secret key. Then I will copy this. So I have copied. Okay, but I'm not going to paste, because secret key is what, this is something very important. Okay, so if I show it to you and somebody wants to hack my account, okay, they can hack it really easy way, right? That's the reason I'll just stop sharing my screen, and I will paste this particular key, and then I'll share it back again. Okay, so let me stop sharing. Here I have pasted that key. It's asking me a default region name. I'm typing AP South 1, and yes, press enter again, and we're done. Okay, so I'm done with copy pasting my, like, those key. I'll show you one more time, how, like, I'm done with that. So here if I show you AWS configure output again, you can see access key. Here I have pasted my latest keys. Okay, here XUM. Okay, so that key you can see here. Then FTVT. Okay, so the secret key I have pasted, and then here I'll just show the default region name, and like I'm done with everything. So here I'm done with the passing credential. Now one more thing I just want to do, I just want to show you that this is the only time you are going to see the secret key. Okay, or in fact you can just read here warning. It's the only time you're going to see the credential. If you want to keep it like for more time, so simply download this CSV file. CSV file is just an Excel file in which you will have all these credentials written. So like once you delete this screen, okay, if you just click on this done button, like you won't be able to see this credential again. So just download your credential and then you can say done. Okay, so I'm done already with configuration part, so I haven't downloaded anything. Okay, great. So we are done with the configured the credential, and now it's time to check like whether my credential works fine or not. How I can check? So here I'm going to put one simple command like AWS S3 ls. Okay, now what this command is, basically it's a AWS command, and here I'm trying to list out my S3 buckets. Now there is something S3 service we have in AWS, and we are trying to see the buckets. Now what, like, why I'm executing this command? Just to understand whether it is able to print the S3 buckets within my account or not. Just to confirm, is the credential which I configured is good. If you get some output like error, then it's a problem. You need to check what you have done here. If you get some output, okay, then you're good. So I press enter, and here you see these are the buckets that I have present in my account. Let's suppose in your case you haven't created any S3 bucket. Okay, in that case you will get a blank output. Okay, but you shouldn't get encountered with any error. Okay, so we have tested our credentials are working fine. Great. Now next thing is what? Next thing that I have the Terraform tool. Okay, I have the Terraform tool. I'm done with this part. I'm done with this part. Okay, and here I can start typing the Terraform, the instructions, and that's how, like I can start typing the script, and then I can start applying it. So I'm done with my all the setup.
Amol,
Yes.
after installing CLI, do we need to configure anything AWS CLI?
Sorry, I didn't get you. Can you come again? After
No, no.
AWS CLI,
After installing AWS CLI, do we need to configure anything, or we can directly uh,
you just
use it?
have to say AWS configure. You just
Yes.
have to say
I
AWS.
mean, in Git Bash, you are using AWS, right? Do we need to configure something for that, or we can directly use it?
No, you can use that. After that, you can use directly.
Okay, because I'm not. I mean, it is showing command not found. That's why I'm asking.
So if you heard my instructions clearly, you need to close your existing uh, terminal, and you have to create, like, open the new one.
Okay.
So try it again. Okay, like it's a no big deal actually. Try it some day to time. All right. Any other question, guys? Here, you want to understand? Like, is this understood to you? The how, like how the authentication you have to perform? Is that understood to you?
Amul, after
Yes.
installation of this AWS CLI and environment variables, we are creating an IAM user,
Hmm.
right?
Yes.
For that IAM user, from Gitmesh to connect to that user, what is that command?
It's AWS configure.
Oh, directly AWS configure will take us to the user connection.
Yes.
After that, we are having in that user security configurations, we will be giving that access key and security key.
Yes. Correct.
The, but we have taken that security key and you access from Aditya, right? But here it is showing Amul. You have copied it from
But
Amul itself.
no. Where you see Amol?
Here, okay,
So
okay,
right.
fine. Sorry, sorry.
Uh,
Here that green color, I got confused there. Green color Amul at
no,
the red desktop. It is Git Bash,
no.
right?
No. It's my PC name, laptop name.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
this is my
Sorry, I
laptop name.
got confused there.
Yeah. So this is my
Fine,
local
fine.
system.
Yeah, got it, Amul. Got it.
Okay. All right. So the next thing here, we have to straight away go, and we'll do what? We'll write something very simple script. Okay. So let's do it. So we'll do what? We'll create a simple script for Terraform. That's what here we'll do. Now, which all tools here you will be using? So guys, we have to do what? We have to write the scripts, like very big scripts we have to write over a period of time. And because of that, here I can't go with a notepad or something like that. Okay. So like if you ask me the question that uh, okay, so Sheila wants to have a break. Okay, fine guys. Okay, let's have 2 minutes break, and then after that we'll continue. Okay, let's have 2 minutes of break, guys, and then after that we'll continue. All right, guys. So let's continue session ahead. Here till the time we're done with okay, like we're done with authentication and all. Now it's time to create a simple script. Okay, like here, what we are going to do, we are going to write one script here. At least we can do some prerequisite today. Okay, like how to write script and all those. Okay, let's just talk about those. So here on my laptop, I'm going to write one script to apply something here. Now, how I can do that? Okay, so very basic thing here. Very first thing I want you guys to do is that if you don't have the VS Code tool, okay, VS Code is what? It's a IDE software that everybody should have as a DevOps engineer. I would highly recommend it to. Like the way I recommend a Git bash, the same way I also recommend everyone to have a VS Code tool. Now VS Code is what? This is a Visual Studio Code. This VS Code is what? This is the free software from the free in the sense open source software from the Microsoft. Okay, now it's developed by Microsoft, but still it is free. Now that's it. This is something the really best thing that one developer can have. So we are going to use the VS Code tool to write everything about like the Terraform script and all. Okay. So if you don't have Terraform like VS Code, it's a very simple installation. You have to just go on Google, say VS Code download. Okay. Whichever your operating system is, it's just available for each and every operating system. Just click on the very first link. And here you see like we get a multiple options. So just click on the appropriate option. Like in my case, it's a Windows. And you can see here the file has got downloaded, started. And in my case, I already have it. So I'm just like pausing this one. But the important thing is what? Here you will download that file in the same process. Just open it, say next, 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 and that's it. Okay, so you will have a VS Code available in your system. So I already have it. So let me simply go and use the one which I have. So here you can see there's a Visual Studio Code I'm having. Now this is a tool where I'll be writing the script. Okay, this is a tool I'll be writing script. Now why? Why? The main reason this tool is going to help me in writing the code. Okay, so what I can do is here I can just go to the file. I can say open folder. Okay, I'm saying open folder and I'm going to decide like this is a particular place I just want to write all my scripts. Okay, so for that, like that way, I've clicked on the folder and then I'll click on desktop. Okay, under the repo folder, I will look. Okay, is there any Terraform folder I have? Okay, I have one. What I'll do is I'll just create a new folder here and I will give the name as Terraform script new latest. Okay, so I'm just like giving some latest name inside in it. So this is the new folder that I'm creating. Inside this particular folder, I'll be writing my all the scripts. Okay, so I have selected that folder and I will click on the select folder. And yes, I'm done with the creating the folder. I'll just say yes, I trust the authors. And here I'm done with the folder creation. Now this is the place I'll be writing all my script. Okay, this is the place I'll be writing my all the scripts. So this thing you guys have to follow. Once you're done with like opening this VS Code, further you're going to do one more thing. And what's that? So here you will look for the extensions. Okay, you'll click on this extension and you will look for the Terraform extension. Okay, so just go in the search bar and type the Terraform. After while fetching the extension, why? Yeah, now it's coming. Okay, so here you see the Terraform is this one. Okay, now this is the official one. Okay, this particular extension is what? This is the HashiCorp Terraform. This is the official one. This I'm going to install. Now it's up to you that which extension you guys wish to have it. I always give preference for official one, so I'll click on this official extension. You can in fact see the downloads. Okay, it has a pretty well downloads, so I'm happy with the downloads number. So that's the reason I'm going to install this one. In your case, you will get install option, so just install that one. I already have it. So in your case, you guys have to install this particular extension. Now, what this extension is all about? This extension will help you in writing the code. Okay, it will suggest you, it will autocomplete the things for you. Okay, now that's the reason, this release is really good to have with your VS Code. Great. Now we are done with like setting the extension also. It's time to write the very first code. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just go and click a new file, and here I can give any name to my file. Okay, so any name I can just give it. So let's say infra dot tf. Okay, now the file name, okay, for your infrastructure is going to be the .tf. Extension for your each and every single file, okay, for the Terraform is going to be the .tf. It really doesn't matter how many files you create here. Okay, you can create infra1, infra2, like that. You have a 10 files. Okay, but all the file extension is going to be the .tf. Okay, so just keep that in mind. .tf is for that is indicating it's a Terraform file. So your file name is always going to be the always going to be the ends with the .tf, and here you will be writing the file with the HCL language. Okay, great. Now it's time to write something inside in it. Correct. Now this is the very first session. You guys are not much familiar with anything. What I can do is I can just copy the things from anywhere, and then I'm not going to copy like from my existing code. I'll just go on internet, and here what you guys are thinking of to create. Okay, just think. Let's say you all are familiar with how to create the EC2 machine. Okay, and that's something here I'll try to do with the Terraform. Okay, so here I'm going to say like just say AWS EC2. This is my service name, and I have to create a like this is something I'll search. Okay, what I've searched here, AWS EC2. This is my service name, and I'm creating the Terraform resource. So just search like this. Okay, now like why I'm like telling you the very basic things. Okay, there is something behind scene. I have something to say about this. Okay, like when you see like when you search the keyword like this, the most of the time, like 99% of the time, you will go to the appropriate documentation where you see the things like you'll reach out to the Terraform documentation, and then let me tell you, like Terraform documentation is really good. That's the reason I have never said that Terraform is something very difficult language to understand. No, not at all. You just have to refer their documentation. You have to find the appropriate code. Just change the parameter as per your choice, and that's it. Same thing here I have done. I've just like search. I wish to create a AWS server, so I just search AWS EC2 instance Terraform resource. I'm just like here, and you see here resource AWS instance. If I scroll little down, you can see here I'm having few of the basic example. Okay, if I scroll further, you see here I'm having like few of the examples. Now at this point, maybe I shouldn't be directly starting and talking like much about it, but let me take any of the the example, where the simple example I'm just looking to create the Terraform instance. Okay, you can see here I have something, or I can just consider anyone here. Let me start from the basic. I don't want a complex example at all. Probably I'll just take this one. Okay, I'll just take this one, and I'm going to paste it. Now what these fields are, everything. Okay, that will start talking tomorrow. Okay, I'll explain everything. Just be relaxed with this whatever I've pasted just now. The very first thing you see here, like something AMI. Okay, now you have something that is a resource name, what you wish to create. Okay, now here you wish to create your AWS instance. Then you have a resource like this, sorry, the Terraform name. Okay, that is the your resource name. Now it's up to you what name here you would like to write. Okay, you can type anything as per your choice. Next thing, you have a different parameters while you create your machine. and you guys know this thing very well. Like let's say if I just went here and if I click on the launch instance, so here I'm having the AMI option. Okay, I choose the AMI that it's Ubuntu, it's Windows, it's a Mac OS. Okay, which operating system I would like to choose. I just choose that one, right? Here in this case, here I'm having the like I just have to choose the operating system, so I can just go with, let's say, absolutely okay. This is the one I'm concerned. My region is Mumbai. Okay, my region is Mumbai, and from this place I can copy the AMI ID. Okay, I'll copy the AMI ID like this way, and I will give this AMI ID here. Now this is a one-time process, like one-time activity. So probably you will ask, so for to choose or to get the AMI ID, you have to look the AWS console. Yes, correct, guys. I went to the AWS console. From there, I've taken this AMI ID, but this is a one-time process. Okay. Now, on the same process, you also have to follow. Okay. Can we automate this? Like, I don't have to go to the AWS console, and I would like to directly fetch whichever is my Amazon Linux. Okay, belongs to the Mumbai region. I would like to have this value. Can we do that? Answer is yes. Okay, we can do. But we are at a very initial phase. So that's the reason I'm just hard coding this value. Okay, I went to AWS console. From there, I'll take the value like this. Next thing, it is asking me the instance type. Okay, so T3 micro, I don't want to go with. I'll say T2 micro, which is a free tier one. Okay, and hello world. So the name for my machine is going to be the hello world. Okay, so this is the configuration I'm having, and simply this is the very simplest example that I'm just considering. Now, what is this, like the way we are writing? So I'll explain this everything. Okay, like here the first line, what I've written here. These are the arguments we called. Okay, this is also we'll talk about. But here today we'll simply create a resource. Let's create it very quickly. Okay, here I haven't done much anything like a rocket science. I have copy pasted something, taken the AMI ID, T2 micro, and let's create it. Okay, I have saved this configuration, Control S. Now I will go to my Git bash where I have written the script. It is on the desktop, so I'll go to the desktop. Under desktop, I have the repo folder under which I have the Terraform infra script. It was something latest or something, the folder name I have. Okay, I'll just like click on here. Oh yeah, here the folder name is the Terraform script new. Terraform script new latest. Okay, this is the folder I have, and under which here intra.tf, this is the folder we have created. Okay, I can show you very quickly. Okay, so this is what here I have written. Now it's time to apply the configuration. Okay, it's time to apply the configuration. So how we can apply? I just need like 4 to 5 minutes, guys. Okay, not more than that. We'll just finish this. Okay, like, or it will be in middle hanging. So let's not start tomorrow from here. The very first thing here, we have to use few of the commands. Okay, like Terraform commands. Now, as this is the very first time you are going to use the Terraform command, so you are going to use the Terraform init. Okay, Terraform init is the first command that you will be using. Now, what Terraform init is going to do? It is going to initialize the repository, or let me explain this command tomorrow. I'll just list out the command. So Terraform init is the first time you have to use it, and this is the only one time command you have to use. Okay, only one time. Like you will be initializing the repository of the Terraform basically, and then you will say Terraform apply. So these are the two commands you have to use. Okay, let's just go and do that. So here I'll go and say Terraform init. Now, like these are the two commands we have to execute. One by one, we'll do it. Now, how it is applying, what Terraform init is doing. Okay, so all these things we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, with some taking some good time. Okay. There's one more configuration here we're supposed to mention, but we'll discuss that also tomorrow. So with a very basic way, we'll be creating one instance here. Let's see. Now, as you see here, installing HashiCorp, something is going on. So it is basically downloading some plugins. Now it will take some time, okay, like Terraform init, as we're doing it for a very first time. Okay, you see here, it's done. It's done, great. Now the next command is Terraform apply. Here you see, now I said Terraform apply. Now what is output and everything is, okay, please ignore time being. At last, it is just asking me enter value. Only yes will be accepted. So let me say yes and just press enter. Now here, the behind scene, AWS instance creation is going on, okay, and it takes somewhere around 30 to 35 seconds generally for to create any of the instance. So let's wait for instance to be created. And here we go. So we have applied the one resource, okay, successfully. And let's confirm in the AWS console now. I'll go back here. I'll look for the EC2 service. And here I'm having one service running right now. So let's check. Okay, here we go. So our machine name came as a hello world. Okay, and here you see T2 micro machine got created. And how it got created? It got created with the help of the Terraform. So the very first resource here we have successfully created inside your Terraform, and we haven't clicked anywhere like launch instance or anything like that. Okay, and we're still able to create your EC2 machine. So is that understood to you guys? Any questions?
Amol, can you show us the those two comments?
Here, these are the two commands: Terraform init and Terraform apply. Any other question, guys?
Amul, we did not run that code in Visual Studio, no, but how this instant got created? We only done Terraform install and Terraform apply. How did that particular file got executed?
File got okay. So here I went. You see here on my local machine from the Git bash, I went to desktop folder, then a repo folder, and the folder where we have written the script. I went inside that folder and I did here the ls command. You see here the infra.tf, the file I have present on that folder. So here I said the Terraform init and Terraform apply. So from this path, the command got executed, and same at the same path we have here the code like this code file is on the same path.
In this particular folder, Terraform scripts new latest. We have in infra dot that file name, no. Here one file is there, so it's fine. It worked with Terraform execute initial and Terraform execute apply. If we have multiple files and only we have to run one file, then
No, it doesn't work with that way. You can create multiple files here, and you just have to say Terraform apply. Okay, so either you write the code in one single file, or let's say you have to create 10 instances. You put the all 10 instances configuration in one file, or you create a 10 different file and you put like in what like each of the file you mention the 10 instances. So it's the same case. Terraform is going to club all that configuration together, and that's how it is going to apply.
no, Amol, that's sorry, that's not my question. Here we have only one file, right? Infra dot that file only we are having one file, but generally in that folder we will be having multiple files, right? Like 3 or 4 files we might have, but only if we have to run only one file, like we have like 1, 2, 3, 4 files, and only we have to run only one file, then how to do it?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So when you say Terraform init, so it's like a repository. So you have all the configuration placed under one folder. So you cannot apply the configuration of one file. Okay, you cannot do that. So you
Okay.
have all the files like you, so that's what, like you cannot apply the configuration for one file. Whatever you have in all the files, either you mention it in one file or all the files. Okay, it is going to consider all the time. It is going to consider all the configuration.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Amal.
Yes.
Hi,
Alright,
Aman.
so for
Yes.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for example, in this file we have infra.tf and we have to create a second instance. Can we just add that code below this, and then if we run, so it doesn't give any error, right? It just executes the second
So let's say,
instance.
okay,
Yeah.
let me give example. Okay, let's say this is the we have to create one more instance. I'll copy this particular instance configuration, and then like I'm going to explain this like ahead. You'll get all these things clarified because we have to create a lot of infrastructure. Okay, but let me tell you, like right now, just give you the answer. Here I can just mention the block of like this way. Now resource name cannot be like a same. Okay, web cannot be. So I'll just have to make some, let's say 2 here. Okay, and I can create one more instance just like that. Okay, I have to say Terraform apply, and I will have one more instance created there in my AWS account. Okay, so this is the way that I will be creating the configuration. Or let's suppose here if I mention one more file, and let's say instance -2.tf. Okay, so this I'm creating one more file, and I copied that one to that file. Okay, and I save this one. Okay, and on the both files I'm just like save this configuration. And now even if I go to folder and I say Terraform apply, okay, it's a one and the same thing. So that's what I was telling, that you mention your configuration in one file or you mention it in like a separate file. Okay, so Terraform is going to club all the files together, the configuration, and that's how it is going to apply it. Okay, is that clear now?
Yes, yes. Thanks, Aman.
Yeah. Yes, Aditya, you're saying something. Hello, Aditya, you're on unmute. Sorry, you're on mute. Yeah,
Yeah, am
you
I
were
audible
saying
now?
something. Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, so I was just asking about the same thing, about resources, how it's created to one file and all. Just have one more doubt here. So you just copy pasted this thing and change the resource name, right?
Mhm.
And
Yes.
but my question is that what if we have to execute only one instance instead of others that we have in different files or in the same file? So is it work that way, or we have to create a different
Okay.
folder itself and do that?
Okay. Like there are few other tricks you can apply, but okay, better like allow me some time. Okay, in tomorrow session those things will get clear. See, because here we haven't started yet writing the script by our own. I got your question. Okay, so you're saying that even though we have a configuration here, you still want to avoid that, right? So, uh, correct, huh? That's what your question is, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So simply the answer is that to like I'll just give the answer in one word. Simply, just like comment that one, and this is the way that you can avoid it. So if your configuration present in that file means the Terraform is going to apply that. If you don't want to apply, either delete that configuration or simply comment it out. Okay, so this is the way with which you can apply the configuration. Okay, Aditya.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah, fine guys then. So I hope we have to continue things ahead tomorrow. Okay, and then after that you will get much more clarity than today. Okay, so this I just wanted to show you how we can apply. So we have done with that. Okay, so tomorrow we will understand like how exactly script work and how Terraform applies the configuration. So we have to understand a lot of things. Okay, so yes, so see you there in tomorrow's session. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.